Welcome to Cooking with Pam and Amy, and actually today it's all me because Pam is driving home from seeing her grandsons for his birthday. So today I have Esther, my good friend, behind the camera, and she'll be telling me any questions that come through, so please feel free to send me some questions and I can answer them as we're cooking along, and I hope you have fun in the kitchen and find joy. We are the Dynamic Coaches for Health Conscious Peeps. We want to help you find joy in the kitchen. We want to help you find food that matches your body and that you enjoy and find pleasure in. And so today we're going to be using the air fryer because there's been some requests for that. We're going to be doing chicken legs, drumsticks, and we're going to be doing some butternut squash as well as zucchini, and I even picked up some asparagus, which wasn't on the list, but it looked so good I couldn't help it. I love going through the grocery store. I love fresh produce. And when it's calling out to me, I just can't help it, and I'll add it to a recipe. So be creative and fun and enjoy that. You can throw in potatoes, you can throw in all kinds of whatever's yummy and good. And then we're going to do a quinoa, Mexican quinoa salad that's simple with some quinoa and some yummy veggies and just some roasted chicken. Got the chicken going here. And then we're going to do Pam's pasta salad, which I don't know why we chose to do this when she's not here, but I guess she was craving it and wanted to make sure she'll have it in the fridge when she gets home tonight. So we're going to do that, and it is gluten-free pasta we're using, and some jack cheese, yum, and sauces like that. So for the roasted stuff, if you all saw last Thursday, I did a getting saucy, and we did a meat rub. So this is good on veggies and drumsticks. I am going to do it on the drumsticks. So the easiest way to do that, I put about 2 tablespoons in there. Actually, I'm looking at how many drumsticks I have. I'm going to put another tablespoon in there. There we go. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of oil. Use my handy dandy avocado / coconut blend oil that we love because it doesn't leave any flavors and it can be high temperature. Get that nice and toasty in there. Mix it up well. You don't want any dry spots. Super yum. All right. And it smells good. Drumsticks I love because you don't have to do anything but open the package and stick them in. Here we go. I've got 5 from that one. Put that in that can. Do make sure there's no feathers on them. That gets a bit dirty. There you go. I'm going to throw this in here and wash your hands. Now, we're going to do this, but then we're going to let it sit for a little bit. Because we kind of want this to be held in there. And if you could have this sit overnight, even better. So part of your meal prepping, you could just marinate this and then throw it in when it's time to cook. No big deal. Might need a little more oil. But this is the whole meat in the bag. What was that bag? It used to be, or this is just how my mother always did it. I feel like there was a thing we used to buy in a box and there was a bag inside with spices in it. Corned beef? I don't know. But you can obviously do this in a bowl. But I find it just mixes the marinade, get it all in there. This is also a fun part for kids to do. You know what I didn't think, Esther, is that you could actually turn on my computer, if that was easier. We're good? I got it. She's got it. And Pam is actually going out of town next week, so she'll be helping me as well. But there we go. All right, well mixed. We're gonna let that sit over here. And there we go. Next, I've got some chicken breasts. Now the chicken breasts, I'm going to do half of them. Actually, I'm going to do all of them with some Italian on them because Italian is just a good herb mix. And then we're going to choose 2 of them to kind of add some Mexican to it. And if you remember on the Getting Spicy, there is one that's a fajita / taco mix. And that is what we're going to use on 2 of these for the Mexican quinoa. Now, if you're trying to find the Getting Saucies again, we have some exciting news. We are actually getting set up on our website to have all of the videos there, easy for you to go to and find, and that's coming soon, so we'll let you know as soon as it happens. Until then, if you go to the post topics, which is a tab at the top of the page, and if you scroll towards the right, it says topics. If you're on your phone, if you're on your computer, it's on the right side along the side, and it says popular post topics. You look at Thursdays Getting Saucy, you can find all of our sauce videos there, and then you can find all of our past Cooking Monday shows as well. It's Monday Cooking with Amy. So, let me wash my hands. All right, I got the Italian. Now I'm gonna put just a little bit of my taco seasoning on these two and call it good. And then for the dressing on this, for the quinoa, you can use the cumin lime dressing or just a salsa. But the cumin lime dressing is also in the Getting Saucy. Okay? Our oven is ready, and in this goes. I've got convection roast today, and we're gonna start with 20 minutes. And, oh, no. I always forget how this works. I think it's just gonna go. 20, yes! I'm getting it. All right, next. Over here, oh, let's get our quinoa started. Although, oh my goodness, I love quinoa in the Instant Pot. Easy peasy. I already rinsed it. I've got 2 cups in here with 2 cups of water. In the Instant Pot, you do 1 and 1. On the stove, you do a little bit more. And so I've got 1 and 1 in here rinsed. You're not going to believe how long it takes. Of course, it needs to heat up, and we all know there's cooling times. 1 minute. So if you press just pressure cook, and mine is already set to 1 minute because I do quinoa that way and I do rice. And I'm trying to think, rice works. Maybe quinoa is 3 minutes. Whoop! Nope, not 4. We're gonna do 3 minutes because I just had a brain fart. It's probably on the menu or the recipe, and now I'm just afraid, but I can't believe it would be more than, anyways. We'll see how it turns out, see? It'll play, we'll play with it. That's not a big deal. So that's going, we're gonna cook the pasta as soon as we get some of this cleared off. I wanted to show you with the asparagus, again, how to get the woody end off. You wanna snap it, and it will go to there. And sometimes it's a big one, and not as friendly, but I always eat this. And then you get to the woody part, and then you throw it away. So, that's the way to keep your energy up while you're cooking. We are gonna add some oil to this before we throw it into the air fryer. In fact, let's do that right now since we're gonna be waiting for those other ones to marinate. Little tiny bit of oil. That'll do ya. What seasoning do we want on this? I think we'll go with Italian. I keep trying to take the lid off. It's easier to just screw it. I think if we pull this out, if you don't have an air fryer, then you can do this on the grill, or you can do it on a cast iron pot. Oops. So, I'm going to use the basket, set it in there, which we will just transfer to the shelf in a second. Just put a little bit of oil around it and some seasoning. You can do salt and pepper. I'm just going to spread these out. I wonder if they'll fit better this way. 1. Look, there's like an albino one. How cool is that? That would be the one your kids fight over if they like asparagus. These ones are nice and thick. Last week we did grilled asparagus. They were a little bit thinner for our salad. Those were yum. Yummo yummo. I'm just going to overlap because the ends will tend to cook a little bit faster anyways. I think it will be okay if we overlap them like so. So maybe they'll cook slower. There we go. Now my hands smell good. Be right back.
The whole kitchen smells good.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Let's go see. I've not done asparagus in here yet, so we're just gonna play with it. We'll set this in there. I'm gonna put the pan underneath for drippings. That's a preference of you, how you wanna run your thing. Personally, my air fryer is a basket. And it already has all the protection underneath it. So if you have one like this, in my air fryer it would take a lot more to do this batch because it's smaller space. But I think we're gonna set it on air fry and probably 400 degrees and maybe, let's do 8 minutes. That seems to be my special number for timing. And we'll just see how that goes. And then we'll do some turning of it.
Erin Mills
What is
signed
that?
on. Hello.
Hi,
Erin.
Oh, Erin, hi! Yeah. All right. So there's our asparagus. We can put some of this. Ooh, let's marinate the squash. So I got a butternut squash. It was about this big. And when you're picking them out, it's good to find the ones that have the smaller seed pods. So this one's not so bad, but literally this was like this big. And I cut some of it out so I can show you, but see? But I cut them like this before I peel them because it's really easy. Oh, I gotta wash my knife. It's really easy to peel it once you have it like this. So check this out. And you do want to get past these little green marks in there. If they have that, that's part of the skin growing. And they're tough. I always try to take off the least amount, and then I found my pieces were tough. So you've got to be a little bit daring. Take off more. But this makes it really easy. You can also use a hand peeler, but I find just chopping this in the circle like this makes it super easy. So we'll take all the green off. There you go. And then I do a few cuts this way. And we're going to cut it again in half this way. And let's see, I did about that size. So we want them kind of bite size. For meal prep, you will either not cook them yet or you'll cook them halfway. So we're going to cook them halfway today so that when you go to reheat them, they don't turn to mush and you cook them a little more. Just like the wings, you could marinate them a bit overnight as well. You could have all of this prepped, eat another meal tonight, then have this one ready for tomorrow to be cooking. And all of this can also be done on barbecue. Yum, yum, yum. We love doing veggies on the barbecue. So here is your seed pod, and I scooped out all the seeds with a spoon because that makes it so much easier. Then I'm going to do the same thing. It's a little bit harder because it's a curve, but you just go like that. And remember, the best tool you can have in the kitchen is a sharp knife. I was just reading again, overviewing, where I talk about knives in the meal prep book. It's coming. We're looking for formatting and stuff, so we're really excited. I promise you that's coming soon. And it keeps talking about, I can't talk enough about having a sharp knife. Even a cheap knife, it just means you have to sharpen it more. But keep it sharp, because a dull knife is actually more dangerous. And we don't want you cutting your fingers. This, because there's this little piece there, I'm just gonna chop out, because it'll just burn. There we go.
Pam says she misses you and you're still sideways.
What?
It's fine. I can see it on my phone. You just twist the phone.
Yeah, I know, but
somehow it switched back.
Did it? Why is it on my phone?
You look
fine.
Yeah.
How's all the writing?
Writing is writing is this way.
I see. Yes, I miss you too. Is there a button to sign? Here.
Everybody, today we're just going to turn our phones sideways.
We're going to turn our phone sideways. anyways.
We're good.
Enjoy the moment. All right, so see, I have a nice big bowl of butternut squash. I'm gonna add some oil to it, and I'm gonna add some, there was a spice that Pam liked on hers last time I did. What was it? I think it was the no salt seasoning. Have fun with this stuff. Try all kinds of things. Let's do no salt seasoning. Since we did the Italian on the asparagus, no salt seasoning, ooh, but my nose. On the Instant Pot, guys, I just noticed that mine was turned on venting. That's not good. We want it to be on not venting. So make sure when you're doing that to always double check. What do I need? I need a spoon. Let's grab a spoon. Oop. This would be perfect because we can use it when we're actually cooking them too. So we're spicing up. You want them to be a little bit covered, a nice sheen of oil on all of it. And don't be afraid to add a little bit more, because if they've got dry spots, they won't get crispy, and we want them to be crispy. And I'm gonna add, not some pepper, some salt. Got our real salt here. Good stuff. All right, and we're gonna set that aside. Check on our asparagus. Ooh, I smell it. Ooh, look at that. We ready? Beautiful. It's not gonna come out. Come on. There it is. Look at how pretty that is. Yummo. And still crunchy, but it's just that beautiful green. Now when you reheat them, they should be good as well. But, you know, these are one of those things I would definitely just keep to the side until you're ready to cook them and eat them fresh. So we're probably gonna eat these tonight, Pam. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of salt because yummy. And voila, that was easy. Let's get those in a bowl. And then we're gonna put our butternut squash in. Ding! Let's see.
Freya said she got real salt and it's really good.
Who did?
Freya.
All right, good job, Freya. Ah! And lost. All right, our Instant Pot's going. Let's get these. Dun, dun, dun. My goodness. Oh, my soul. Well, Pam, dinner will be ready when you get home. How good is that for going on vacation? And she's so sweet. She says, you cook, don't worry, and then just leave the kitchen and I'll clean it up. Like, who wants to clean up a kitchen after driving for 12 hours? She's adorable. Let's put this back in. Take this one out. Feeling hot, it's not as easy. All right, I'm gonna get the basket back here. Let's put in some of our butternut squash. This is yummo. This, you wanna make sure that it's not overlapped. So we might have to do it in 2 swoops, which will be fine. What other things have you guys made in the air fryer that you like? Don't forget that it's hot, like I would do. And in we go. Again, I'm gonna keep it hot at 400 and do 8 minutes. It's my magic number. Keep that for stirring. And we have asparagus. Are you trying more?
No.
Okay. What do we want to do next? Ooh, some zucchini. Zucchini. Here we go. So after I wrote the recipe, I found another way to do the zucchini, which also looks good, but it was to take these off. I had written to do this, do them in half again, and then cut them 1, 2, voila, like that. And I'm gonna stick them in there where our oil from our last asparagus was. So this is kind of like little fries, which I like, and I've done it many times like this. But this recipe that I saw called for cutting it into thick slices. So you would cut this like that, and then line them straight, and then put your sprinklings on top.
Kathy has a question. She
Yes.
says, how is your air fryer different from a convection oven?
That's a really good question. This also has convection and toast and broil on it. I'm not exactly sure the difference, except the air fryer is supposed to circulate differently, and yet they make them all into one. In fact, now they make the Instant Pot, which is a pressure cooker with a lid that has air frying capabilities. I don't know. I think it gets hotter, and I think it stays because of the way it circulates the air. It seems to fry it.
Crisp it?
Crisp it, that's the right word, thank you. So, if anybody else knows the answer to that, or a better answer, that would be awesome. But I've worked with both, and I think the air fryer just gets hotter. There's something about it's strange because, like, even when reheating stuff, I've reheated French fries, and you can do that in the toaster oven, but they don't get as crispy. So there's something about the circulation of it. Good question, Kathy. Thank you. So we're going to cut some of these yummies. And then we'll get going on some pasta. And my... Did that start?
It has 1 minute left.
There you go. 1 whole minute. And we'll see how it does. So let's do some like this. So half, and then you would just cut it like this. 1, 2, 3. The thing that I saw when they did these, and you could do this on the grill, is you put this on and then they put Parmesan cheese like sprinkled right on top that got crispy. That would be good. So let's put some of those in here, right? The thing about doing all this cooking is by the end, Pam and I are usually so hungry. We gotta eat. 2, 3. So, you could also do this with your mandolin to get perfect sizes if you wanted, but your knife skills, since you've been practicing and working from the house, right, and cooking more, I bet they're getting really good. Do some of this, and there we go. I think, Esther, would you look in the fridge for some grated Parmesan? Or the grated, not the shredded. Does she have grated? She's got that. We'll use that. Do some Parmesan on there. Yummy. Oh, here comes my vacuum cleaner. Tucker, tucker, tucker. There he is. Thank you. Oh yeah, I need to use that one. Perfect. Thanks, Esther. Hi, Tucker. Back to see us. Alright. Tucker got to go away for the weekend too because Pam and Dennis had to leave. Or got to leave, had to. So, he went to see Grandma. It's always nice when Grandma will take the grand doggy too. Silly dog. Alright, we got a few more of these. We're going to experiment with 2 different sizes and see how that goes. I suppose you could actually spread like some spaghetti sauce on this and the cheese. Make little spaghetti thingies. Yum. This is also the way it would be easier to cut them for the grill. Be careful if you're using the mandolin. Make sure you have a glove on, please. Because it's dangerous. Alright. This one is a little thin, so I'm going to do thin like that. And then this one we can do wedge slice. 2, 3. Ta-da! Try those. Alright, and we'll do those when we get our other stuff out. So yummy. your kale. This is for the quinoa salad. And if you're meal prepping this, you want to keep all these things separate. But remember, for getting the leaves off the kale, it's really easy. You just pull. Super easy. You can tell that they're done right. This one's a little bit ugly and overgrown. We're going to not eat that one. The kale right now is really nice shape, actually. So do that. And I think Pam was growing some kale, but I couldn't figure out which one it was. So we're just going to use this. But this is easy enough to do. If you're not going to eat the salad immediately, then you want to have all these pieces prepared, and then you're going to want to mix it in when you're going to eat it. Okay, these ding, yay. Oh, yum. They're just starting to get crispy. That's good. Let's see. Okay. Yum. They're half done. Hot. Still a little crunchy. And, excuse me, exactly where I would leave them if we weren't going to finish and eat them immediately. So, I'm going to leave that sit there for a minute, let it cool down, transfer it to container, and then we'll do the rest. In the meantime, we'll do some kale. This I like slicing super thin. Oh, and there's our chicken. Dirty. Oops. Okay. And our chicken is looking good. I'm going to go for 5 more minutes. Oops, timer, 5, start. And that'll go. And sometimes these leaves are pretty curly, especially the young ones when they're still a little tiny. So you want to be super careful. In fact, sometimes when they're little, I actually just soak them in the tub of water because for some reason that will get everything off better than just rinsing. So keep an eye out how that goes. Got our kale. Yeah, this is good. I love when you take the leaves off and it smells like kale. And you know you're doing good. Super green and yummy. I actually had the rest of the kale from last week. Did we do kale last week? We did. No, I did kale. For somebody else. There we go. And we made it into a salad today. Leftover salads, because Monday we were always like scrambling. What do we eat? Till we cook again. We've got 4th of July coming up. I know it's still 3 weeks away, but I'm planning all the salad recipes that I'm going to have prepared for you guys. That will be great to take to any kind of party you do. So, if there's some sort of special ingredient you want me to come up with a salad for, let me know. And I will do that. So this can just be put back in here. We'll bag it up. It's best if you can actually do it into a Ziploc so that it is as little air as possible. Are you still working on that? Getting me right sideways.
Nope, you're not gonna go the other way. Kathy is watching, and Barbara is watching, and Holly is watching.
Thank you.
You're still sideways.
I'm still sideways. All right. Well, and now I don't think we can turn. Oh no.
Pam says you can't change it.
Oh. Sorry, ladies. It's just gonna have to be a phone thing. All right, we've got that, and our quinoa is on hold. Let's get a bowl for this, and just keep this stuff going. 8 minutes. Magic number. So, that and that and that. Let's get our pasta started. So this one, you want to boil it to what the specifications are, but just a couple minutes less, so that you are able to leave it a little bit al dente, because when it sits in the juices and stuff, it's going to cook up a little bit more. So, uncover for 8 to 10 minutes. We'll get this going hot, then we can put in that pasta. Done. Ooh, this is going to go on our zucchini, which is there. And here's all of our yummy stuff for our pasta salad. I already cubed the jack cheese, so we've got that. We're going to do some cucumber. Let's put it to the side. There we go. This, let me think how I want to do this. Probably best, since it's going in the salad, to be cubes, kind of like the cheese. Once you start with one size of something, it's kind of a good idea to keep within reason of that same thing. So I'm just going to cut it into 3 long strips, like that, and then we're going to cube it. You can also use the mandolin if you use the large slicing thing. Then it's kind of like a French fry one. That actually does well. If you cut them in half like this and then you do them, it will do definitely very uniform stuff. So here's our cucumber. And what just speak to me? Oh, our chicken. Chicken. Oh. There we go. Looks good. Cancel the whole thing. Let the heat and the smell into the kitchen. Yummy stuff. Ooh, that feels good on my back. Where's our hot weather? Are we supposed to get warm weather yet? Again?
It's going to be clear this week, but not too warm yet.
All right. Well, it's coming, and I see some black spots in this. So I'm going to take them off. You really, when you're doing salads, especially pre-prep stuff, and that's why I actually like to go with organic, it needs to be not starting to mold or rot, because it's just going to rot before you can get to it since you're meal prepping if you're not eating it right now. So it's really important to pick out super fresh stuff. Make sure there's no smushy ends on the cucumbers. Black spots, we just cut off. Stuff that you'd be like, oh, if I was eating it today, not a big deal. You need to make sure that it's in better condition than that. So, all right, that we've got. Look, Pam has the coolest tower of veggies, and I got green onions and basil, just picked right before this show. Let me get this cut up a little bit, and she just took some of the whites and started growing them, and even with some lettuce like that, it's amazing. So the sideway thing, I think that just proves that this is where I belong, and Pam does a really good job on the other side. And clearly I wouldn't be able to, it would take me a while to get this figured out. Although in the beginning we got this. We're getting this. So, all right, and here's our pepper, and I was reminded that it's a good idea to talk about our vegetables again and what you need to get organic and what you don't need to get organic if you don't have the desire to. And peppers is definitely something that's on the best if organic list. We have in our files, in our website, a file about the suggestions for organic and non-organic stuff. There's like the Dirty Dozen. I've seen also the Dirty 15. So it's good to know. And then when you're in the grocery store, if they don't have what you want in the organic section, then you can always find it with confidence in the regular. And I still buy some stuff regular because to me, it smells like it's in better shape than some of the stuff in organic. So the Oregon City Fred Meyer has amazing organic stuff, but that's because they've been carrying organic for a while. The first section of organic produce was literally this big, and the peppers were $6.99 a piece. When I first started my business, I was working for a client, and she's like, it doesn't matter the price to me, but I want organic, and I was appalled that was that much, but that was important to her. So we did, and now prices have come down, the section has grown. It's really awesome, and they do a really great job of keeping everything in there fresh and lovely, and people are buying it, so it's being used up. I think some of these other stores that are starting to get on organic now, it's awesome, except that they haven't, and so people don't know that, and so they don't buy it, and then it just goes bad because it's sitting on the shelf. So start noticing your local stores what's carrying organic and get in there on a regular basis so that they can replenish, and then you'll have a great produce section as well. All right, we got some cherry tomatoes here. I'm gonna get in there. Now this, for the pasta salad, all this harder stuff you can keep together. The cherry tomatoes, I wouldn't, let me think. These are such nice little ones. You could either leave them whole and put them in there, or you could slice them in half right before you put them in the salad. But I would keep them separate until you're ready to put them together. So here's our sliced veggies for that salad. I'm gonna put those there. Here are our tomatoes. Let me think. And also the quinoa salad. It's kind of the same thing. So we're gonna keep these all a little separate. There we go. So I've got, see, 2 bowls of tomatoes. One is for quinoa, one is for our pasta. And we're gonna keep those separate until we throw that together. And then I will post pictures as we do put these together so you have an idea of what they look like. Here's our lovely fresh basil. We're gonna cut some of this up. Whew, it smells so good. And I just heard another ding. What is it? Oh, our butternut squash. Ding. This basil will keep if you do this, and for a couple days, then of course you can just go get more fresh stuff. There we go. Oh my gosh, that smells so good. Set that there for a minute. So again, here's our squash. Oh yeah. These are good. All right. Let's see if I can dump this instead of scooping. A little smarter. Here we go. Alright, done on that one. Now, keep that hot. Let's do some of these. We're going to do some oil. Oh, and my pasta's about to boil. So here's some oil on this. And I'm going to do Italian, and we're going to add some cheese to it. And maybe, you know what? I think this would be better in a bag. So, don't mind me. Throw over here. There we go. Ooh, good oils. There we go. Like this. Towel-y. Throw in our pasta. I'm going to do the whole thing. There we go. And this says to cook uncovered until medium on, until done on medium. Oh, I like to use this. Give it a good stir. So it says 8 to 10. I'm going to do 6. Let's do timer 6. And let that go. And this can be recycled. Alright, and I already have the strainer set aside. Once this is cooked, you're going to run it through cold water. So you want this cooking process to actually stop. And you would do that whether you're using gluten-free or regular pasta. You want the cooking process to stop. and it's super yummy. Alright, now the cool thing, since it's in this bag, I can also add the cheese. My nail pouch. Dun, dun, dun. And it smells good. This grated stuff. One time my son was shaking it like this and he didn't hang on to the top, and it literally, full thing of this all over the table and behind him because he was doing like this. And of course, you know, teenagers, they can't do anything small. It's like, it looked like it had snowed on our table, and my younger son thought that was hilarious, of course. And so now it's a big joke. Ha ha. Make sure you hang on to it. All right. So, and let's do a little bit of salt, because we can be not worried too much about the salt stuff. All right. Get this nice. It's shake and bake.
That's. Freya said that earlier, but I didn't want to.
Freya.
I didn't want to interrupt.
No
We're on
worries.
other stuff.
You're good. Shake and bake. Shake, shake, shake. This is how we get our dancing in. This is super fun kid type stuff too. I'm just gonna keep stirring this. The gluten-free pasta can get finicky, so we're just keeping an eye on this one. And my timer did start. That's good. Oh, look at these. Yummo. I think I'm only gonna put about half. I don't know. If you want to be really good, you would not spill it on the floor. You would set them out, each one specifically so beautifully. But this is meal prep made fast, so we're just gonna throw it in there, kind of, because it will be better if they're a little bit all flat. And then we can stir it. Yum, yum. All right, and I have zucchini down. Sorry, Pam. We're already at 400. I'm gonna do it for a little bit less because they're not dense. We are hoping they get crunchy. And here comes our chicken. Right, this way. Let's take a peek at that. Okay, put that away. Yummo. So you can see which ones I put the Mexican spice on, which was the taco / fajita seasoning from Getting Saucy. And we're gonna give this a nice stir. That's looking good. Who doesn't love a good pasta salad, right? It's almost like we're kind of doing two pasta salads because we've got the quinoa salad. That's super yum. Esther's rubbing her belly. That was cute. Yum, 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 yum. We like food. My new thing, I'm telling you, good food is so good. Oh, that's hot. Did you see me? It bit me. Don't get your arm too close. I burned myself on my air fryer the other day, and it added a line that looked like it had an addition to my bracelet. Look at how lovely this is. So this will keep for a couple days, just like this. Nice and yummy. We'll just find a nice little container. And so then you have it already prepared, or it's always lovely and pretty easy to chop up a couple pieces, or just break them with your fingers. That's easy enough, especially if you have it growing. Oh my goodness. If you have basil growing, squash, you should put basil on almost everything.
Oregon City Fred Meyer's has a good selection of live basil.
Yes, and even their boxed basil is pretty stinking amazing. So I usually have a box going because, you know, having a plant, I'm not great at having plants, as Esther will attest. She's lovely and gets me flowers and then I kill them. All right, let's close that. We've got 2 minutes going for our pasta. Holy cow, we're almost done, guys. And where are we at? 15 minutes until 5 o'clock. You can do this. It is easy once you get the roll going, once you figure out a system. And my vacuum cleaner, can you see him?
Yeah, they can see him.
How Tucker! Tucker! He's cleaning up the zucchini! It had cheese on it. Is that good stuff? Is it good? Huh? Is that good? It's okay that I scare you. I'm sorry. I can't touch you though. Alright, we got zucchini going. And that looks good. We got that going. We're going to do the legs here in a second. We'll do those next. The chicken. It's pretty easy. I'm going to grab a cutting board. Okay, we got these really cool cutting boards. And they're plastic, so they stick. These are still a little bit hot, but you see the juices down in there. You want to get this cut up when it's still a little bit warm. Throw it back in the juices and they'll soak up all the juices again. We're going to keep them a little bit separate because, remember, we put some Mexican seasoning on the one and the other. Oh, that was my timer. Let's get this out of here. And cooling off. Cool down, cool down. You can also just drain off the water and then soak them again in cold water so you're not using as much. But I think it's just about as much here. There we go. Let's that together. Oh yeah, that's nice and cool. Okay. There we go. So we have pasta done. We've got our veggies all chopped. Another thing that goes in there is olives, if you want, or green olives or black olives. And then a traditional Italian dressing or just olive oil and the balsamic always goes well, and we'll treat that well. So we're going to get this back in the juices so that it soaks them up. And then you want to have this chilled anyways to go into your salad. You don't want your salad hot. Whoop, it's a little bit spongy. Might be it needs to cook a little bit. Get it in there. Cook. Remember I said if there's no color, it is done, but it's a little spongy. It needs to cook a little more. So I'm going to set that in there, and I'm actually going to cover this up and let it steam just a tiny bit more. See if that works. It's still very hot, so let's go this way. There you go. Another thing that I would do if you're finding that it's spongy when you are cutting into it, you can throw it into a skillet just for a few minutes and get that. That rubbery just means it's not cooked all the way. So it's still safe, just not cooked to be good and yummy. So I'm gonna clean my fingers. Oh my goodness, guys. Let's check on our quinoa. So once this becomes undone with just the regular steam, well, you can fluff it up. You can set this in the refrigerator, have it cool. A lot of times during the summer I'll have a little bit of that or a little bit of rice, or you can even do the gluten-free pasta. Have that, have your cut vegetables, and have your chicken, and literally you can put a different dressing on it and it will taste entirely different the next day and the next day if you don't want to eat the same thing. So if you have some of the getting saucy dresses like the orange ginger, or you have the, what's the one we did with fresh basil? That's a red wine vinaigrette. And then there's the cumin lime if you want to go Mexican style, which is what we're going to do on this one. In the recipe it suggests that. It also suggests an Italian version, and then there's a fruity forward version. So at the bottom, take a peek and decide which one of those you'd like. There's a little bit variation on the vegetables, but use your imagination. Also, have fun. Go through and find what is, I just lost my train of thought. What looks good, what vegetables are in season, what looks like the asparagus looked amazing, and so I grabbed that. And fresh herbs, any fresh herbs that you have that you can throw into a pasta salad or a quinoa salad is gonna make your day, and it makes everything that much more tasty. So, looks like our zucchini's done. Let's take a peek. Oh yeah. I think I messed up, and they really should be one set out at a time if we're gonna do this right, because they're kind of sticking to each other. So let me rearrange this. Nope. Let's do this right. So there, we're learning together. These are going to be set up so that they're like this. To the side. Oh my goodness, but they smell good. Woo. This is the way to eat zucchini, I think. Super yummy. There we go. And if you did this before you put them in there, then it's not hot on your fingers. Alrighty. Some of these we're gonna take off. There we go. Hot, hot, hot. Anybody have any questions for me? You know, you guys, when you're cooking for real in your kitchen and you have questions, you can always hashtag, or if you put the @ symbol and then my name, it will select me. So and then I always check my notifications, and I'm happy to answer all your questions then as well. So don't be shy, ask questions, and clearly, even I can make some goofs. So don't be embarrassed about any of that, because we're all just learning and figuring this out, and that makes it fun. You know what I just tried this weekend? My friend is making sourdough, and he made it with regular flour, but I'm going to figure out how to make it with gluten-free flour. So that is going to be on our list one of these days soon, and I have to convince Pam to buy a bread maker, because I think that would make it amazing. Imagine if you could have a gluten-free loaf of fresh bread, right, just because. Let's just do it. And he did make gluten-free sourdough pancakes. Yeah, they're really good. Yeah, I'm spoiled. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, that's prettier. Let's try this again. In we go. Let's do 3 more minutes on that. The difference between this one, and there's also a digital version. The digital version, your timing will be much more precise. It's really the only difference. This timer is a little bit wonky, but if you're in the kitchen and you're paying attention to your stuff, it kind of helps you learn as you go. So either one is great. Okay. Yummy stuff. I think that I am going to post pictures of the finished products, and there we go. And this was an hour, and you would be ready to have meals in your refrigerator, ready to go. The salad stuff, throw together and mix. Some of these are good the second day, definitely, but you wouldn't want to eat them in a week with the dressing sitting on them, because then they start to get soggy, like your tomatoes. Things to consider. So, love you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting us, and we will see you next week. Take care. Press save.